Do. Pottery lessons with Tim. Meow.
Hello YouTube. I am ready to make some new handle dies for my extruder. I figured, hey, why not show you what I'm doing and why I'm doing it? So the first thing is that why not just use a manufactured die for your handles and stuff? Well, we got a few different reasons. So for example, I do a lot of pipes and things that are extruded, hollow extrusions. And to get just the right circle is hard. There are not many in between those. Actually, I think those are the two sizes. And when you go to actually make a pipe and you want it to fit inside of another fitting, you have to come up with lots of different circles. And I've made lots of different circles to fit just the right pipe that I want. So there's the size part of it. Then there's the originality part and being custom about something. So if you get your extruder die template set and you get this one and you extrude all your handles like this, everybody else that has this extruder die can do that. And for me, it's kind of not being original. If you're doing the same thing as everybody else because you're using the same kind of tool and that tool doesn't allow you to change how that works, like this is the only thing that this one will make. I mean, you can alter it a little bit by maybe masking it and putting a flat edge or something, but in the end, you're just using this person's design to put on your pots. Not everybody is into making original work, so okay, use those. That's great. But some people want their work to be their own, and more so than just being their own, they want it to complete a vision that they have for their work. I mean, I could extrude a flat handle and stick it on my pots and it would work. It would be a handle. I could do it a flat one that was like this. I could make my own and it would work, but it's not going to complete the vision that I have for my pot. My pots are supposed to look mechanical or reworked, kind of dug up. And this is one that has one of the leather handles that I'll be making today, or the die for it, in that it looks like it's stitched together like it's a piece of like a luggage handle from the 60s, 70s, or a belt. Those are all kind of the leathery things that I'm looking at replicating. So what I'm going to do today is make I took this die and I destroyed it. Every other year, sometimes every year, I go back and I retool the things that I've done so that they're not the same, so that I'm continuing to grow. I mean, if this was my best decision that I could make 3 years ago, that's probably not the best decision I can make now for what I want these pieces to do. That makes sense, right? So, if I want to grow and do it differently, I've got to start all over again. So we're going to go through and I'm going to make a new extruder die. I'm going to be using a ruler, but I'm going to talk about a couple of the other things that you can use them from. This was I believe, a piece of plastic that I got from the person who made my extruder. It is just a flat piece of plastic that you can cut through. This is thick, so it's hard to do really detailed work. The next thing you can use is a bat. So let's say an old plastic bat becomes kind of crappy. You can take and cut squares out of that bat and then make other dies for it. So like this is a test tile die. And then for me, I took a round hole and I routed it out a little bit so that the dies for my little hand extruder fit in there and can work like that. So I could take any of my other plastic dies that I make out of the ruler, which is a little too flexy to use by itself, and then put this as like a mask so that it doesn't push through, and I can use that as an extruder die right in my big extruder. So we're gonna be using the little plastic thing because it's easy to cut, easy to work with. It's measured out for you so you can get the sizes right and the spacing right on a lot of things. In the end, I want my handle to fit in a piece like this. This is a handle receiver. It's kind of like, again, they get retooled. So this is one of them. This one's a different one. But I want it to fit within this space as a wet piece of clay. So I'm going to use this as a template on how big my piece needs to be made out of a ruler. Right? So this is a ruler that you can get from, I believe it's a quilting ruler of some sort, but it's flat, it's smooth on the surface. There's marks that are pretty close together so you can get detail stuff. And you're gonna need a marker, an X-Acto knife. Sometimes you're gonna need a lighter to smooth out a surface, and a Dremel tool. Did I say Dremel tool already? So a Dremel tool, this one has a flex shaft that's mounted up there. I'll probably take a picture of it and post it right here. And then it's hooked up to my pedal for my Soldner. So I can take that pedal off and plug pretty much anything into it. So now I have foot control over how fast this goes, which is really nice when trying to do detail stuff that you might need to slow down when you get near an edge. Again, the Soldner pedal can power any, is it DC motor? I hope it's DC. Anyway, it works this. All right, so I'm going to pause for a second and then go back and draw up the design. All right, so I went through my notebook, looked at some of the stuff that I had drawn out, and I guess the first thing is to figure out exactly how wide my handle needs to be to fit into this perfectly. So this, if I look from edge to edge, we're at 1.25 inches. So it can be a little more than 1.25 inches because I want it to kind of pinch in like leather, like it's stuck inside that metal bit and then clamped down. So we also need to make sure that our piece will fit in the die. So we usually start by taking a circle. Let's put it right over the center. So that point right there is the middle. This is another thing that's really nice, to make it just in the middle perfectly. So now we know that this point is the middle. And we know it needs to go to about here and here. It also, we go by thickness. Oh, let's just measure it. So it goes from there. It's less than a 1/2 inch thick. So it can't go past here and here. We want it to have an edge, so it looks like two pieces of leather have been stuck together, sewn together, and then it's got, I don't know what they put in the middle actually of a piece of luggage handle, like probably like a filler, like feels stiff. Maybe it's a cardboard, some kind of filling in there, and we want it to be puffy. So the last one I did had that seam in the middle, which was really nice, but didn't make as much sense. So we're gonna remove that seam from this next one, and we're gonna put in all right, so now I've got it drawn out here. I'm gonna cut it out. So make sure you have your safety glasses on, nice dirty ones. Now I'm going to more of an abrasive bit to kind of smooth out this surface. And there we go. We have a new handle die for the year. So easy. You should make your own. This lazy cat says, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you later.